Hello, beautiful, intuitive parents. So I want to talk a little bit more about light codes and light language. Some of you will have seen that I channel these really kind of drawings that almost look a little bit like doodles in some aspects. And also light language, which sounds like a really kind of funny expression of voice, of sometimes toning, sometimes singing. And I wanted to just share a little bit about where that's come from and how it's actually become a massive tool in our lives for my family. So when I first started doing healing work, I would often feel like I had something stuck in my throat. And I started to actually make sounds while I was doing healing with clients, which at the time I was like, this is a little bit odd. But I just went with it and I was like, totally trusted my intuition that this was meant to happen. And then I actually accidentally bumped into people who were doing this thing called light codes and light language. And I was like, oh my God, wow, this is kind of what I have been experiencing. So I did a course. I actually kind of leaned more into it. And even from doing that program, I found that you can almost box it and make it like, oh, you have to learn how to do this. My teaching and the way that I share has always been that everyone can do everything. There is no, you're special because you have this gift and you're special because you have that gift. There is nothing special about the creation of energy. Everybody is an energetic being, and therefore everybody can express codes of light. Because we are in physics, like actually made of light, of photons. Like I love quantum physics. Everybody who knows me well knows that I'm an academic at heart. And, you know, when you really break down what your body's made of, it's made up of energy. And so when we are open and allow ourselves to become a channel, then we can actually open a space within our heart to share and express a truth. Now, some people express that truth through poetry. Some people express that truth through writing and creating novels. Some people share that truth in art, in dance. I have seen the most intricate light codes drawn, you know, from people that just absolutely blow me away. I've also seen people use photographs and ways of manipulating imagery to create this potent energy that to me is a light code. Anything that stirs your soul. If you're listening to a song and you have that feeling in your body of like, oh my God, this is moving me, that's a light code. That is energy coming into your body through somebody else's expression. And so my way of expressing light codes is through drawings, which I record and share on the YouTube channel and in the blog on the website, and through light language, which is meditations where I channel words and sound, sometimes singing. And so what I really wanted to share was how this has become a part of my parenting, because initially when I did this, it was for me. Like I was doing it with my clients, like everything I've ever done, it's always been about me and about my self-development. And I've just lent into it because it felt good. It felt like I was called to do it. And of course, it always was like, oh, how do I integrate this into my family? Now, some of you will know this, some of you won't, but my youngest daughter, Isabella, we call her Bella, has some challenges. She is incredibly high vibrational. She really struggles with 3D reality. And that can look a number of different ways, but one of the biggest ways it plays out is in her being very, very determined to do things her own way. And it has become very difficult to navigate because she really gets overwhelmed when she is asked to do anything. And I mean anything. It could be getting dressed in the morning, brushing her teeth, eating, you name it. She will decide she's not doing it. She's not doing it, and that's it. And if you don't do what she wants, that is a really big issue for her. And over the years, it has become so bad that she has started to self-harm and started to really, like, the frustration and anger within her it's really hard to watch as a parent, especially as a parent who's really aware. And obviously I've done lots of healing. We've done gut health work. We've done oils. We've done kinesiology. Like I've dug into pretty much every avenue that I can find to support her. And I didn't even consider this one day. It was probably a couple of years ago now, when I just naturally started talking to her in light language. And I noticed her entire energy just shift instantly. Like, she just relaxed. She looked at me, and we will have conversations now in light language. This is very, very normal. Her behavior, I've managed to navigate. Like, I've managed to create a way of parenting that I know when she's getting to an edge, when she's overtired, when she's hungry. Her condition in a labeled box is called pathological demand avoidance, and it's an autism spectrum disorder. But as far as I'm concerned, it's just her high vibrational energy struggling to cope in this world. And so, without realizing it, I actually created a tool for her that has worked, like really, really worked and clicked in. So we've had, whatever it's been, 8 weeks of school holidays, because we had that extended break in Australia because of COVID. And her behavior has been really quite manageable. Like, we've had beautiful times away. Yes, we've had the odd tantrums, which I would describe as a completely normal, age-appropriate behavior. And we're now back doing kindy. And 1 week, and we are just back to absolute refusal to do anything. Last night, the reason I'm making this video is because last night I had 3 hours of screaming, like beyond controllable screaming, ripping her hair. She trashed her bedroom. This is when she is in these states of PDA that she cannot regulate. This is, her brain has completely flipped out, and it was all over brushing her teeth. And that behavior, there's nothing I can do. I held her, I sat with her. She was not interested. She was kicking, she was screaming. You know, it just is beyond a normal tantrum, or what you would consider to be normal. So I know that her system, her regulation is not okay. And it's because she's gone back into an environment which is very 3D, where she's not free to be who she is. And I'm seriously considering pulling her out of kindy because it does not fit with her energy. But over this last week, as these behaviors have started to creep in again and again and again, I sit with her. We might find a crystal. I'll pick her up. I'll hold her, and I will just talk to her in light language, or sing to her in light language. And instantly I can feel her body start to soften, start to come down, start to regulate, start to come into a space where it's like, you know, her body is starting to really, you know, be in a space of just allowing that energy just to drop right into her heart. It's incredible. And so last night, yeah, she completely flipped out and lost it. And it just wasn't working. I was like, what's going on? So in the end, I scooped her up and I actually took her outside, and we sat. Like, it was 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, you must be tired. Surely you're tired. You know, she doesn't have a day's sleep, and this is every night. She is in this space of just constantly going and going and going. And so, yeah, we went and sat under the moon and just sat there, and we just talked light language to each other, and I got her back into a regulated space. And it is just the most incredible tool to support her. And I really feel like for her, it is her truth of, this is where I came from. This is what I feel in my body. And when I'm talking to her like that from a high vibrational space, her whole being just gets to calm, like gets to relax. And so for me, by accident, I didn't purposefully go out of my way to create this as a tool, but it has become a tool in our life and in the lifestyle. A couple of nights ago, I wanted to do a light language transmission because I was just feeling like, oh, something's coming through and I want to channel it. And my son Tom and Lottie actually came and did it with me. That was the first time that they were like, oh yeah, we'll come and do a little ceremony with you. We lit some candles. It was so beautiful. I'll share it in the YouTube channel. And they just sat and they started speaking light language because they're watching and observing what I'm doing. And I didn't make them do it. I haven't forced anything. I'm just creating these ways of being that allow them to expand, allow them to play with energy. And for me, that is just so exciting. And it just opens my heart even more to be able to share this with them and then to be able to share it with you, because these are just my experiences. I haven't gone and learned how to do this. I'm just sharing what I'm doing as a parent and how I'm introducing this into my kids' lives. So in the comments, I'm going to share in the description for YouTube and Facebook, I'm going to share a link to the Light Code Chakra Activation Program that I created. It is potent. It's 7 weeks, 7 codes, 7 light language transmissions. You do it all in your own time. So every single week you'll receive an email with a code for each chakra and with a light language transmission for each chakra. And you get to, in a very, very short space of time, the videos are only about 10 minutes. You just sit with that energy and you instantly shift because of the downloads. The energy that comes through literally aligns with what's in your body. It re-establishes new codes of light within you. And it's just such a beautiful way to shift. So if anybody is interested in taking their current state of being and shifting it into another level and doing it with your kids, let them listen to the video with you, let them share the codes, let them look at the drawings and see what they see. It's all about doing it together as a family. So yeah, the link is there. If anyone wants to do it, it's self-paced. You do it in your own time. You get 1 video and 1 code a week with an email. It's just beautiful. Such a great way to shift. And for us, working with light language and light codes has just become a part of our everyday life. So I wanted to share that because it's real. You know, parenting is real. It's fucking hard some days. You know, my kids are not perfect and I have the same challenges everybody else has. It's just about how you navigate that and the tools you have in your toolkit to support them. So yeah, if anybody is resonating and is like, oh, that would just really be good for us, then yeah, the information is there. Any questions, of course, let me know. But yeah, beautiful. Have an amazing day. Lots of love. Mwah.